Hey folks, in this video we're going to be benchmarking Far Cry 5. You can see the components I use on the screen. I have a Ryzen 7 1700X and a Palit GTX 1060 6GB. On screen are the settings, so I'm running at 1080p. I have the graphics settings on Ultra or as high as they can go. And I've disabled frame rate lock and VSync as well to push as many frames as possible. There's going to be two videos in the next couple of minutes. One is of a OBS recording, and the second, which you can see kind of smaller in the bottom right hand corner, is a recording using a digital camera. Okay, so I'm going to briefly look at the monitoring history from MSI Afterburner. We're going to ignore pretty much about 80% all this here, which is the build up to the benchmark. You can see here where the GPU spikes and we're using pretty much 99% of the GPU. This is where the benchmark was being run. You can see the temperature for the GPU steadily increases. At this point, it's 63, 64 degrees just before I ended the benchmark. It could have continued rising, but as we've seen in previous videos, the GPU temperature is pretty good at keeping it low. Nothing too high, nothing of any concern. CPU temperature is pretty much steady throughout the entirety of setting up the benchmarking situation and before even running it. So the CPU temperature was barely even affected, as was the CPU usage. We can see here we're only using anywhere between a third of it to sometimes about 50%. Obviously all this spiking here doesn't really paint us an average picture, but halfway through the benchmark you can see we're just pretty much hovering around 30% mark. And then down at the frames per second, because I turned enable frame lock off and kept VSync off, we were looking at frame rates that were pretty much the most that could be pushed at that given time in the benchmark. So we were running from 78 being the highest, sometimes down at 50, what we got there, 57 I think I saw, but an average of about low 60s to mid 60s. So really good results. Again, this benchmark wasn't using OBS, and for some reason OBS takes away about 10% of frames. So the result you see in the filmed benchmark, the recorded benchmark, isn't reflective of what you're going to be getting if you were to run without OBS in the background recording your screen. So thanks for watching then. I hope you enjoyed this quick little review benchmark of Far Cry 5. If you enjoyed it, give a like, give a comment, and if you thought there's something I could do better or you didn't like, then please leave a comment as well. I'm always looking to improve these kind of videos.